Good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Huband. I work at the Robert Jones Agnes Orthopaedic Hospital. I'm here today just to sort of talk about what we're doing for Net Zero in our specialist acute trust. Just be highlighting some of our key achievements to date, some of the key focuses we've got in the next 3 years, just demonstrating how we're embedding sustainability into just everyday healthcare life. So who are we? So like I say, we're the Robert Jones Agnes Orthopaedic Hospital, specialising in orthopaedics. We've got a reputation for innovation. We do a comprehensive range of musculoskeletal, surgical, medical operations, rehabilitation services, not only locally, but regionally, nationally. We're situated on the outskirts of Bowen, so we're from Oswestry, Shropshire. We're on the Welsh-English border. We've got quite a lot of ties with military and the forces. We've got a veteran centre on site, things of that nature. Not a big site, about 35,000 square metres, roughly around 200 beds, about 2,000 staffs. And as you can sort of see from that's our site plan. We've just got one pretty much straight corridor with all our buildings going off it. So I'm sure you're all in the energy sector, so we all know what we're trying to achieve. So just a quick overview. As we all know, we've got the legally binding targets that we've got to achieve net zero and have zero greenhouse emissions by 2050. Based off our sort of 1990 levels. Being the NHS, we decided we wanted to be the first healthcare that went totally net zero, so we've decided to go one better. So we've set out our targets that by 2040 we'll be fully net zero, but we're looking to achieve 80% by 2032. And the same again, just trying to influence others around us to follow suit, and they've got their targets of hitting net zero by 2045. NHS responsible for about 5% of the UK's carbon emissions. So we are quite a small portion really in the grand scheme of things, but it all mounts up, especially when we do bring into our supply chains and everything like that. We do have a lot of influences. The NHS in general, we've made quite massive reductions in the last sort of 10 years, 20 years. So since the 1990s, when our 1990 levels, the NHS has reduced 68% in their carbon emissions, and 14% of that has been reduced in this last 5 years. That's been a big drive, as we all know, in the last sort of 5 years. At the end of 2024, the NHS was producing 4.7 million tonnes of carbon. Us at the RJAH, we were just under 6,000 tonnes of that. So again, sort of a small footprint, but considering there's tens of thousands of buildings across the NHS estate, it all makes a big difference. So we realised that sustainability is not just an environmental issue, but it is a clinical one, and the climate change directly impacts the effect of the health of all our patients and staff and everyone around us. So we're looking to what we can do to do our bit for net zero. So what are we doing? So what have we been doing, shall I say? So the last 5 years we've been working on our different processes of what we can do. So our first green plan got released back in 2021. It's just renewed again now, but I'll come on to that shortly. So prior to our green plan, we've done all sorts of tasks, such as we had the first round of PSDS funding with Salex. We did all LED efficiencies. We've done building upgrades. We've done some insulation upgrades. We've still got gas boilers on our site at the moment, but we've got some burners on site that controlled it better, made it a bit more efficient. Say this was 5 years ago. This was back in 2020. So in the last sort of 3 years, a bit wordy on the screen. But essentially, what else have we been doing in this last sort of 3 years? So we're part of REGO. So all the electricity that we import is all from renewable energy sources. We've been quite successful with a number of different solar schemes. So we can see from the photo, there's quite a lot of solar on our site. We secured 1.4 million with the National Energy Fund NEEF last year, which enabled us to go up to just under 2 megawatts of solar. And we've managed to incorporate a 500 kilowatt carport with that, which I know is something that we're quite proud of. I know a lot of people are interested in going that way, trying to use up our car parking space as opposed to putting them on fields or on the roofs themselves. I'll say we've pretty much maxed our roofs out. Also been working to try and electrify our fleet. So all our pool cars are now 100% electric, but we are still trying to do the wider fleet. we've got a new electric waste truck coming in March, and there's a few other people on site who have pool cars that we're trying to influence and get them. So we've got 32 EV chargers across site for both staff and visitors. One of the beauty things about the carports that we've got is we've managed to incorporate some EV charging on that too. Just kind of putting the infrastructure in place for staff to sort of realise, oh, if I was to buy an electric car, at least I know where I can charge it. We've also been making some significant progress with clinical waste strategy, achieving zero waste to landfill. Our catering team, they've been nationally recognised for their work in reducing single-use plastics. And we've also got a League of Friends cafe on our site, who we're also trying to influence. So there's reusable containers, reusable coffees, etc. I've got a few little pictures I'll show in a sec. We've managed to get rid of our nitrous oxide. So we have still got nitrous oxide bottles, but we've got rid of our pipeline supply. So utilising the NHS England's nitrous oxide waste reduction tool kit, we managed to reduce that earlier this year. We've got quite a lot of green spaces as well on the trust, so it's all good. Mental health's a big one at the moment. Everybody likes to get out, take a bit of break. We've got a few ward gardens for the patients. We've got a path at the back of our site. As you can see, there's a bit of a green space area. It's a path that walks around that. Just a nice place for staff, patients, just to take a break, step out of the environment really, so you're not staring at the same four walls all day. Yeah, it just goes on to say, we've got like a paediatric ward as well. We just upgraded their garden at the back end of last year. It just gives the kids a nice place to run around and play when they're starting to be on the mend. So I've just got a few slides now just to showcase some of those achievements. So I'll just run over briefly what we are doing. I'll say one thing that we are particularly proud of on our site is the amount of solar that we do have. As sort of mentioned, we have got a 2 megawatt system at the moment. We have got further funding, so we are looking to put another megawatt on. I suppose for the Eagle viewers here, where is the big thing. There is a few roof spaces that we're still looking to do, so there is a couple of little gaps, and we have got planning permission now for another 3 carports. So again, we're quite fortunate that we've received that, because we've just completely transformed our site, to be honest, into an ongoing generator. It's all to sort of prepare us to stepping away from fossil fuels, so we need all the energy we can have before we electrify the site. That's sort of a picture of the bottom of our carports. As I sort of mentioned, we've got EV charging on every other pillar. So we have got EV across the whole site. This is our main big staff car, shall we call it. So we're not a big site, so you might look at that and think that's a small car park, but that is our main staff car park. We don't actually have the bays designated for EV charging, but there's plenty of space and there's plenty of ways around, so essentially the 4 bays around it can be charged. There's 2 points on each. We don't make any money on our EV charging, so it's another way of trying to promote. We don't give it away for free, but we don't charge any extra, so what we pay for electricity is exactly what staff will pay. So it's a nice little incentive, especially we've got the salary sacrifice program. A lot of people are going that way. So knowing that they've got that infrastructure at our workplace, they know I'm going to be in the office for 8 hours today. At least I know I've got somewhere I can charge. These ones are 22 kilowatts, but the ones around the rest of the site are a bit of a mixture. We've got a couple of 11s and we've got a couple of 7s. But yeah, so just trying to adopt a greener modes of transport and just encourage staff as much as possible. As I sort of briefly mentioned, so our catering team, they've been nationally recognised for their initiatives in reusable takeaway containers. What we've got on the right there, you've got these reusable food containers now. So instead of having your polystyrene takeaways, so when staff or visitors decide to come and get some food, what they can do is you get a keychain, and you buy into the scheme with this keychain, and you'll get your food in this little tub, and then when you come back the next day, you can either bring back the tub and replace it for another keychain, or you replace it for another tub. We've also got these little takeaway containers, so we'll say we've got League of Friends Cafe on our site. So they've adopted with us. They've decided that they're going to do these takeaway containers, and what they can do is they buy into the scheme again. If they decide that they're coming back to another appointment or staff want to go get another coffee, if they bring back the cup, they get a bit of a discount, and again they get to keep the cup, so they can either bring it back and get another discount or they get another one, etc. They also donated all of us, so all 2,000 of us, our own little cups, and as a little sort of thank you to us, they donated us a free coffee on them. It's got a nice little slogan on it, "You got this, we got you," but it also all had our names on it, so it was a nice little touch really with, say, all 2,000 of us have all got our own little name imprinted on them. There's a little fact there as well about the journey to becoming plastic free, just how much carbon that does save over the year. And say it's equivalent to 23 miles in a petrol car, so it all mounts up. So we've got a few little green spaces around, part of the NHS forest scheme. We've planted 101 trees around our site. The picture on the screens are Horatius Gardens. Horatius Gardens is a charity as well, and that's attached to our spinal ward, so they're quite long stay patients. So it's a nice area that can get out. There's a bit of greenery. They got volunteers that help out. They allow them to do some gardening if they want to do some gardening. They've also got like a nice little green room or something they call it out at the back. And it's essentially just like a little meet and greet area. They can have coffees. It's coming up to Christmas, so they tend to put like films on for them, and they might get a singer in one night. It's just nicer than, like say, going mad on 4 walls. It is a nice little area, to be fair. Say there's a few of them dotted around. That's probably one of the nicest ones though, that's why the picture's there. So just going to run over our green plan. The first thing I want to say is, yes, I'm on the front cover with one of my clinical colleagues. I didn't want to be, I was very much tricked. It was, come have a photo, and then when they did the green plan, all the nice colourfulness, I realised that I was on the front, and I was a bit open about that. So what are we doing? So say, despite our progress to date, our 2024 data said that we were just under 6,000 tonnes of carbon. So to achieve our 80% of our 1990 levels by 2032, we still need to cut around 2,500 tonnes. So that leads me on to introducing the green plan. So say our first green plan was released in 2021. We've just released this at the start of this month. So this is the next 3 years. Based on those 8 key points, our workforce, our leadership, net zero clinical transformation, our digital transformation, travel and transport, states facilities, supply chain and procurement, food and nutrition, and adaptation. Oh yeah, so like each area's got its own little outcomes, how we're going to achieve it, and just sort of clearly into how that is going to affect our patients' outcomes, and how we're going to hold accountability to each different section. So I am just going to flick through our green plan quickly. So say workforce leadership. The journey of net zero is going to be led by our people. We need to take accountability and provide responsibility, give right education, right awareness to staff across site, and just to make sure we're embedding sustainability into everybody's job descriptions, their training, placing accountability on their leadership. We've got carbon literacy trainings going to our board members, so they're getting on board with us, which is good to see that they're on it with our journey. They're quite keen to see how our site's going to develop and how we're going to transform it. We've also got sustainability quality improvements, so we're empowering staff to innovate, drive change from the ground up pretty much. Again, clinical care. We're all NHS, or I'm assuming most of us are NHS. So clinical care is, that's our forefront, so it's a major contributor to our footprint. Some transformation here is key. So we're looking at low carbon clinical pathways, we're looking at setting up virtual clinics, remote monitoring to reduce patient travel. We're going to apply sustainability surgery principles from the Green Surgery Report, reducing our waste of single-use plastics and just unnecessary interventions. We've got a dedicated clinical lead for sustainability who's going to champion this work. That was the lovely lady that was pictured with me on the front. So yeah. Same again, so we've got digital transformation. So digital, everyone usually thinks digital is just about efficiency, but it's also a powerful sustainability tool. We're moving towards a digital first age, to be honest. So the workflows for that will be reducing paper, travel, admin burdens. We are promoting remote and agile working. I know not a lot of people like to work from home, but it does give that flexibility. Some people do like to take a day out of the office. we're trying to encourage it, just to make sure there's no unnecessary journeys really. By 2027, 80% of our patients' correspondence are going to be digital, and at least 20% of our outpatient consultants are going to be delivered remotely. I know there's been a big thing about that recently as well in the news, that a lot of the NHS are going that way. So that's what we're working on at the moment. We're just aligning with the ICS digital program as well, just to ensure that all our new systems are energy efficient and inclusive. So travel obviously accounts for quite a lot of our indirect footprint as well as our footprint. So we're developing sustainable travel plans, just focusing on just habits, active public transport, further zero emissions to our fleet vehicles. As I said, we've already got 100% of our pool cars are fully electric, but we're trying to make our wider fleet fully electric. So we're part of salary sacrifice schemes, so we're making sure that only 100% electric vehicles are on that. At the moment there is hybrid and electric, but we're slowly moving away from that. So the more EV chargers that we put on site is obviously encouraging more staff to take up that greener way. So we're also trying to cut down on travel by promoting the remote working, but say it falls under digital, but it also corresponds with the travel. We're also working with the local public buses, etc., just to make sure that we've got ways for our staff that live locally that can perhaps take a better option rather than driving, taking up car parking spaces and taking up further footprint. Just encouraging more people to do that really as well. So estates and facilities, that's where your biggest carbon savings is going to come. So our estate at the moment, roughly around 90% is going to be from building use. So say estates and facilities, that's my bread and butter really. Estates is my background. So in our heat decarbonisation plan, we are looking to replace fossil fuel boilers with low carbon heating systems, looking to deliver further solar, as I say, where we can, and we're integrating energy efficiencies into all our backlog programs. All our new builds are part of the NHS net zero building standards, so we're all looking to go into green initiatives as we process with every works that we do, and just making sure that we have all those opportunities where we do. We're targeting 40% recycling and maintaining zero waste to landfill. And just making sure that we have a sustainable infrastructure. We've got a few exciting projects that are currently underway. I know there's a few people who are looking around who all see me been coming to our sites to look at things, so I will touch up on it briefly, but I'm not going to give too much away. So around 2/3 of NHS emissions comes from the supply chain. So we're working with our NHS suppliers on the roadmap, trying sustainability requirements and commitments to in every one of our contracts, just making sure that they're also following suit. And we're prioritising reusable clinical items from gowns to tourniquets, just engaging with suppliers in the evergreen supplier assessment. We're reducing our food waste as well. We're using something called the Guardians of the Grub framework. It's delivering 10% waste reduction by 2026. Our menus are starting to see seasonal and lower carbon foods. The catering team, they've already introduced a wide variety of meat-free alternatives, which is enjoyed by many, to be honest, with different dietary preferences. They are starting to mix it as well, so it'll be some sort of meat with some sort of alternative mixed together. They're saying a lot of people are starting to enjoy that, starting to get encouraged by that. And if you've been to our trust, the food is good there. We're also introducing smart and ordering systems. So at the moment we are still pen and paper, but so we're trying to reduce the staff's time on collecting orders, etc. by going digital. We're also introducing mealtime matters, just to give some awareness sessions and promoting the support of mealtime for the patients, just to give them a bit more of a positive mealtime experience. Adaptation, it's also a vital one, it's often underlooked. So we're strengthening resilience from extreme weather and climate impacts with our businesses and continuity in estates planning. We're just assuring that we've got climate in mind whenever we're doing any infrastructure upgrades or decision making or any new facilities, as well as ensuring that we've got adequate cascading of weather alerts and relevant messages across the organisation in line with government's adverse weather plans. So sort of moving forward, the future's in our hands. So like I say, we've got a few little projects that we're working on at the moment. So we've actually partnered with the CEF team, the Carbon Energy Fund. They've helped us secure 7.1 million in PSDS4 funding. I do encourage you to have a look at their portfolio. They've got an everlasting lot of good projects on the go, to be fair. That's not a paid promotion, but they definitely helped us with our site and seeing how we're going to transform it going forward. And they've got a wealth of technical and project management knowledge. It's great for all. So we've also been fortunate again at the Great British Energy Funding, and we've received 2.4 million to produce another 1.2 megawatts of solar. That includes 3 carports, the remains of the roofs that we've got. And as you can see on the picture, that is our carport from above. So we've got about 5 car parks on site. So after this, pretty much all our car parks will also be full of solar. I think it's a bit of a running joke that if you stay on our site too long, we might put solar on your vehicles or on your properties, etc. So we have to say quite fortunate. It's allowing us to transition from a fossil fuel heating system. A couple of little sponsors on there as well. Just ZLC's the team that's been delivering our works, and REVA's been helping us with the project management of that. It's just good to give thanks of who's been doing all the amazing work behind the scenes for us, really. Finally, we've also been quite fortunate that we've got the operational fleet vehicles, which is good funded with the NHS Charge Point Accelerator scheme. So to help us electrify our fleet, we're also merging, having these new electrical waste trucks, etc. So we're getting EV fitted on site to support our fleet. It's been a bit short and sweet this, but delivering net zero in a specialist acute trust is a collective effort. So I hope us at the RJAH can inspire others to join us in our important mission of building a greener, healthier future for us all. It's transforming the way that we power, operate our hospitals without compromising our patient care. So the work that we're doing is leaving a legacy behind us for future generations, for all patients and staff. Together, we are building that greener, healthier, more resilient hospital. I thank you all for listening. If there's anything that you would like to know about our site, you want to collaborate, you want to see our progress, my socials are there, my email's there, or have a look on our website and follow how we're progressing. And I guess good luck to the rest of you and all your net zero journeys. Thanks, guys.